I'm going to be talking about school. I know it's back to school season, everyone hates back to school, but it's something that everyone has to go through. Most of this is geared toward high school just because that's what I know, like how to like cope with, I guess. The first thing that happens before school, a lot of schools will let you schedule a few weeks before school starts, and definitely take advantage of that and get it. And then once you have it, you can see all your classes. I also recommend talking to your counselor if you have any anxieties. Like for instance, last year I didn't know what lunch I was in. It was stressing me out so much. I was like, what if I'm not with my friends? What if this and that? So I just sent my counselor an email and I was like, hey, I don't know what lunch I'm in. And she didn't end up responding. I don't know. I found out. But you can totally go up to your school, go up and just ask to see someone, and they'll usually be helpful. They tend to be very helpful before school, because during school they're normally like changing a schedule is so hard for them and they'll get really annoyed. At least at my school. My counselor's awesome, so she won't get annoyed. She's like really sweet and I love her, but just talk to your counselor. My next tip is to go to bed early the night before, and this is really hard for me just because I get so anxious. So there's this stuff called sleepy time tea, and it's this tea that's like, it's not like drugs or anything, because it sounds like it, but it's just a kind of tea that you can drink the like 30 minutes an hour before you go to bed, and it kind of calms you down and relaxes you. And then I take melatonin, which is a over-the-counter, it's very like earthy, like supplement thing to take. It's not any kind of like prescription drug or any kind of serious like sleeping pill. It's just something that kind of calms you down, but it's very, very safe and very easy to get. The next thing that I have, and it's getting up early the morning of the beginning of school, because at least I found that I always like to have like 2 hours to get ready, and I never take that much time to get ready. But the morning of school, that way I can make sure all my stuff is together, everyone will wear is fine, that I have a good breakfast, that I know what I'm doing if I'm carpooling my friends or whatever. And it's just so helpful, and then you can get to school a little early if you're ready early, and then you'll have time to kind of like get to your first class and meet up with your friends. And it's really just something that kind of stabilizes you and makes you feel better about school. Pack all your stuff that you think you'll need, and even some that you don't. Like at my school we have summer reading, so I'll bring that book, and then I'll bring spirals and stuff, which you don't need to do on the first day, at least at my school, but it makes me feel so much better if I just have that all like intact. Just as the year goes on with homework, I have to go home and do it, and if I don't, I won't get it done until late, and then I worry about it, careful about homework and all that stuff. For anything like me, I get so anxious, so my biggest tip is just to write it all down in your planner so that you have it all. Some people by nature are good at procrastinating, and that's totally fine, like that's how I am, but if you're not, and there's some stuff I can't procrastinate on, like math and things like that, then just do it right when you get it, even though it sucks. Like I'll have to put my phone in my laptop like far away, like because I'm lazy and I won't get up to get it, but just do whatever you have to do to get your work done, because stuff like GPA and all that can be so stressful. And another tip I have with classes is like people, especially if you're like with anxiety about grades and stuff like that, will try to take the hardest classes they possibly can, and that is great and that is fine, that's what I do. But if there's a subject you're bad at, don't be afraid to just take a normal class. So just try your best, but if something's stressing you out, don't be afraid to drop a class that's really hard. Do what you have to do in order to be peaceful and to be happy with yourself. Like if you don't want to take AP Calc 500 or something, that's fine. Like another thing I have is you're like me and you're anxious all the time, which I mean most of you are probably. So I'm like, at least where I'm from, a lot of teachers will give you a sheet on the first day, and it'll be like write your name and then like just all these questions about you, and normally it'll say something like, what would you like to add? Like, what do I need to know about you? I always put I'm anxious, so sometimes I'm gonna have to leave class, and I'll just get up and say I have to use the bathroom, and I would really appreciate it if you would let me use the bathroom whenever I say I have to, because a lot of times it's to calm myself down and keep myself from panicking. Ask you to write stuff like that so that they know. Like I was taking a test and I just raised my hand one day because I was getting so anxious, and I just said, can I go to the nurse? I don't feel well. And then my teacher was like, yeah. If you're worried about them like not letting you go to the bathroom, just like say you have to go to the nurse, because then I'm pretty sure they're required to let you go. Just be like, I'm gonna throw up or something. Another tip that I have is to go to all your school events that you can. Some schools are really big in like different sports, like whether it's like lacrosse or football or something like that. Just go to the games even if you don't like sports. I don't like sports, but there's a lot of sports that are big social events, so just go to those if you can, or go to things like dances and stuff. And I know for a lot of you it's really stressful, so my tips are: one, to find a friend that you can trust and that you can say, hey, I might need to leave, are you okay? Like, will you back me up? Will you tell a story that why I'm leaving? Will you go with me to the bathroom if I need it? Like stuff like that. Just have one person that you know is on the same page as you, and that will help a ton. And then also, don't be afraid to remove yourself. Like, go to the football game and try to have a good time. But if you're getting stressed out, then just be like, oh, my mom called and she's feeling really sick and she wants me to like make her soup or something. it's so easy to get out of whatever you need to. Like, so just try to go to those things, but if you have to remove yourself, then go at your own pace. It's totally fine. Like, I'll be studying for a test and I'll like almost start crying because it freaks me out. If you're like that, then if you start feeling that like anxious feeling, just stop. Just put your book down, leave it open to wherever it is, go walk around, go watch a couple YouTube videos, and then come back. It helps so much to remove yourself from the situation, and when you come back, like if you were studying at your desk, when you start to feel like just go to like your dining room table or something, and that will help so much just to be in a different environment. You get a bad grade on a math test. I keep saying math because I hate math. If you get a bad grade on a history test and you hate history and history is really hard, then just work again and try hard. Like, don't beat yourself up about anything because it's just not worth it. School goes by fast and it's really not as important. Like, grades and stuff are important, but it's not as bad as you think it is. So just take a deep breath, remove yourself, and you'll be fine. My last tip is if you play sports or if you're in an extracurricular activity where you miss school, make sure that you tell all your teachers that you're going to be gone a day or two before, and then you'll feel so much less anxious. Tell that teacher that, hey, I'm not going to be there, and they'll give you your work. But tell them, I would even say a few days in advance, because sometimes if you have a test that day, they'll want you to take it before that day, if that makes sense, when you're gone. So if you tell them a few days before, then you'll be prepared if they say you need to take it like the day before you leave. So that's just my advice for school, and I really hope I help you guys. If you have any questions, just message me on Tumblr, and I'll either answer them on there or on this channel. Make sure to subscribe, I suppose. My link for my Tumblr will be down below if you're new. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys very soon, and have an awesome day, an awesome week, and an awesome school year. You'll get through it, I promise, stuff, and I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.